Alright everyone, good morning. Today is Friday, March 14th, 2025 at 09:36. And today, we have our day one outlook to look at, and boy, it is busy today. That's right, look at that. We have a moderate risk out today. So we have a very, very busy day today. As you can see, we have a moderate risk that extends from Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas, and a little bit of Mississippi down there. And we do have the enhanced risk that surrounds that with Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, down into Alabama, over to Mississippi, up into Arkansas, out into Missouri. Then a little bit of Kansas is under it. We have a little bit of Nebraska having it too. Starting that, we have the slight risk that we can see that it extends to include Wisconsin, a little bit of Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, down into Mississippi, up in Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa. And lastly, the marginal, that goes up into Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, up into Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, up into a little bit of South Dakota even. So yeah, this is a really big risk today. So let's see what cities we've got under what risk today. So we've got Memphis, St. Louis, Des Moines, Springfield, and Peoria under a moderate risk. Chicago, Kansas City, Omaha, Lincoln, and Jackson under the enhanced risk, that being Kansas City, Missouri. Indianapolis, Nashville, Louisville, Birmingham, and Madison under a slight, and Milwaukee, New Orleans, Minneapolis, Cincinnati, and St. Paul having a marginal. So we do have a really busy day today, so this website will eventually reset on me. I'm not even going to hit the refresh button. Today we have a really significant tornado threat today. The 30% is for parts of Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, and Missouri. As you can see, the 15%, the hatched 10% goes to parts of Missouri, up into just a little bit of Iowa, Illinois, out into a little bit of Indiana, if you can see that. I don't know if you can, but it does hit a little bit of Indiana. Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama. Holy cow, these hatched areas are getting pretty hard to make out the states. Mississippi, Arkansas, and a little bit of Missouri having that 10% hatched area there. We got the 5% that extends from Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, up into Arkansas, Missouri, and then just a little bit of Nebraska having that 5% too. And we do also, and a little bit of Wisconsin, just a little bit of it. And then we do also have a, that was for the 5%. The 2%, we have areas like Minnesota, Wisconsin, out in Michigan, a little bit of Ohio under it, Kentucky, Tennessee, a little bit of Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, out into Kansas, Nebraska, and then up into Iowa. So there you go. Those are the states that are being impacted today with this busy day today. So, significant severe and 15% hatched. We have Memphis, St. Louis, Jackson, Springfield, and Evansville having a significant severe. 15% hatched. We have Memphis, St. Louis, Jackson, St. Charles, and St. Peters. 10% hatched. We have Jackson, Mississippi, Springfield, Evansville, Peoria, and Clarksville having a 10% hatched. 5% we have Chicago, Indianapolis, Nashville, Kansas City, Missouri, and Omaha under a 5%. We have New Orleans, Cincinnati, Fort Wayne, Madison, and Baton Rouge under a 2%. So, excuse me, I will have to say this. It's going to be a very significant severe weather day today. So for the 15% hatch, you could see EF3, EF4, maybe even EF5 tornado strength. I hate to say that, but that is a possibility today. So that's what I predict. 10% hatched, you could definitely see a EF2, EF3 tornado possible. So please be mindful of that. 5%, you could see a EF. There you go. See, I didn't even hit the refresh, and it refreshed on me. That's how long this video is today. We have 5%, which you could see a EF1 or EF2 tornado possible. 2%, you could just see a brief EF1 tornado possible. So please be mindful wherever you are. Please be mindful that those are the risks today for the tornado threat. Now, moving down to the damaging wind threat, we do have this 45% hatched area, 30% hatched area. Which gets a lot of hatched areas today. I'm just going to say that. So, 45% hatched area. We could see Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri being the main impact of that. Hatched area of 30%. We have Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, down into Tennessee, over into Missouri, out into Nebraska a little bit. Then we have the 15%, which we have Minnesota, Wisconsin. You can see out into Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi. A little bit of Louisiana has that. Arkansas, and then up into Missouri, out in a little bit of Kansas, Nebraska. And then we have the 5% that extends from Minnesota through Wisconsin, out into Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, up into South Dakota. Very busy day today, so again, we have that significant severe. So we do have Chicago, Indianapolis, Memphis, Kansas City, Missouri, and Omaha having that significant severe wind threat. We have St. Louis, Des Moines, Springfield, Peoria, and Davenport having the 45% hatched. We have Chicago, Memphis, Omaha, Lincoln, and Aurora having the 30% hatched. In Indianapolis, Nashville, Kansas City, Missouri, Louisville, and Birmingham having the 15%. And then we have Milwaukee, New Orleans, Minneapolis, Cincinnati, and St. Paul having a 5%. So, definitely would say for 45% hatch, you could see damaging wind gusts of very damaging 80, 90 mile per hour wind gusts, maybe even 100 mile per hour wind gusts could be possible. Could be a derecho from this, so please be safe. 30% hatched, you could see 80 to 85 mile per hour wind gusts, maybe even 90 mile per hour wind gusts. Basically, the same thing as the 45% hatched. So please be mindful. 15%, we could see 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts possible, maybe even pushing 85 mile per hour wind gusts possible. And then 5%, you could see 60 to 75, 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So please, wherever you are, again, please know what your risk is depending on where you are. Now, moving on to today's hail risk for today. We have the 30% hatched area for Missouri, Illinois, down into Kentucky, Tennessee, and a little bit of Mississippi there, and a little bit of Arkansas there. Then we do have an hatched area of a 15%. That's for parts of Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, down into Arkansas, over in Tennessee and Illinois. And then the 15% goes from Minnesota, Iowa, over into Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, down into Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, and Indiana there. And then the 5% we could see that extends from Minnesota through Wisconsin, Michigan. We do have Indiana, a little bit of Ohio having that as well, Kentucky, Tennessee, a little bit of Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, up into Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, even into South Dakota. So, yes, we have Memphis, St. Louis, Springfield, Peoria, and Davenport under the significant severe. We do have Memphis, St. Louis, Jackson, Tennessee, St. Charles, and Jonesboro under the 30% hatched. We have Nashville, Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Lincoln, and Birmingham under the 15%. And Chicago, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Cincinnati under the 5%. So I definitely would say for the 30% hatch, you could see one to maybe even golf ball size hail, baseball size hail could be possible out of these systems. There, see, it's reset again. It wasn't me. It reset again. So baseball size hail could be out of that one. For the 15%, maybe for the hatched area, maybe 1 to 2.5, 3-inch hail. So baseball size hail could even go out to that area. 15%, you could just see 1 to 3-inch hail, and then 1 to 2-inch hail for the 5% area. So yes, please be careful wherever you are today. Know what risk you are in. So our summary for today, since it is a busy day, a little bit to say for the summary today. A regional outbreak of severe storms is likely across the mid-Mississippi Valley to the lower Mississippi Valley, including portions of the lower Ohio Valley and Mid-South. Tornadoes, several of which could be strong. Widespread severe gusts ranging from 60 to 100 miles per hour, like I predicted, and scattered large hail up to baseball-sized hail will be possible. So, yeah, could be a derecho possible out of this one. I'm going to say it's very likely that a derecho could happen. So, anyway, there is today's hail risk. There is today's wind risk. There is today's tornado risk. And there is our day 1 outlook. I really do hope you stay weather aware and stay safe. This is probably going to most likely go into overnight. So please make sure you have a way of getting woken up to severe weather warnings. Whether that would be your TV, NOAA weather radio, cell phone, have something to wake you up in the middle of the night in case you do end up under a tornado warning. My recommendation is go ahead and go to bed in your safe place tonight. So even if you do get that warning, you know that you already are in your safe place. So anyway, that's going to be it for me, unless there is an update to the day 1 outlook. Oh, excuse me. And I really hope you have a safe day. Stay weather aware, keep your eyes on the sky, and stay safe.